Hi everyone, it's Nick. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Okay, in today's video, we are going to talk about what's new for IKEA here in 2025. So I just got back from IKEA a couple of days ago. I'm excited to tell you all the new things. Some are good, some are bad. We're going to talk about all of them. And as is always my policy on this channel, I will not be attempting to pronounce any of the Swedish correctly, okay? Because here's the thing, no one really cares. Actually, like Swedish people definitely don't care. The only people that care are like English speakers that for some reason think that it's like, I have a journalistic integrity standard that I need to uphold here on the channel, because apparently you don't realize that I'm filming in my living room. The people that do this are the insufferable people that go to an Italian restaurant, or like not even, they go to like Olive Garden and they call it like bruschetta instead of bruschetta. Like, babe, it's bruschetta, just calm down. You know what I mean? Like those types of people. The people that are like, they go to Barcelona and it's like, I just went to Barcelona, and it's like, no, you didn't. You went to Barcelona and you're from Calgary. You're from Calgary, not Thalgary. You know what I mean? Like it's those types of people. Those are the ones that get really upset when I don't pronounce the words correctly. I'm not even gonna try. The Swedish people don't care. Let's all move on. Let's get to the items. Okay, first up on my list is going to be the SPETSBOJ. The SPETSBOJ. I like making it up because it's fun for me. Okay, so this is a really cute little baby lamp. I'm just gonna tell you this right off the bat, okay? IKEA is killing it in the tabletop lamp game. The small tabletop lamps, it started with the donut that was everywhere, the one super viral that you still can't get. I still never really seen it actually at an IKEA before in the wild. It's always on social media, but people go crazy for it. And there's a lot of these other little lamps that people are going nuts for. The SPETSBOJ here in green, you couldn't even get at my IKEA. Eden wanted to get one and she couldn't find one, so I'm on the hunt for her. This is a steel coated sort of, so it's metal, which is shocking to me. I thought it was gonna be plastic at this price point, but no, it's like a steel. I mean, there's some plastic obviously in it, but it's like a steel and plastic sort of lamp that comes in yellow, comes in green, comes in like a creamy white color. It's super, super cute. We asked actually women at IKEA, like if we could find this lamp and if they had any in stock, and she was like, no, it's gone super viral on like YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. And I was like, ugh, those YouTubers always talking about viral things and then making them sell out. Aren't we sick of them? Anyway, this one is like $9.99 Canadian, $12.99 US. I'm mostly gonna quote US because no one knows what Canadian dollars mean everywhere outside of this country. So I just wanted to point that out to Canadians. Like we never win on the currency. So it's 10 bucks, which is probably like $7 US. So we're winning. I think that's a price error. So maybe go check that out if you can grab it, because it shouldn't, that's cheap. Like that's really cheap. Like $10, $13 doesn't even matter, honestly. It's a really good price for a really adorable little lamp. You need more lamps. You need more tabletop lamps, you need more floor lamps, you need more sconces in your life. I've told you that a million times here. We're all about the dynamic lighting plan, and this is a cute one. So honestly, for the price point, amazing, but it's also just adorable and super chic. I love this one. Okay, next up, continuing at the brightly colored things that IKEA is doing. So there's a lot of postmodern stuff here at the front half of the video before we get to a little bit more of those neutrally things at the end. But we have the HORNFELS. This is just like an interesting, what are we talking about this? Like, is this a power bar, but a power cluster, we're gonna call this? I don't really know what this is, but I just thought it was cute. Again, this is playful. It's kind of feeds into that Gen Z, like pale, brightly colored things that you see so often everywhere. I think sometimes this would be really cute in a kid's room or a teenager's room, but let's be honest, 25-year-olds are absolutely putting this in their home because the Gen Zs, they go crazy for the bright colors. And I mean, it's cute, it's quirky, it's interesting for a power bar, which, you know, those things are usually dead boring, but these are kind of cool. Yellow, black, comes in a couple of different colors, really cool. So if you're looking for a power cluster, or if you're in the market, it's like 18 bucks, which maybe feels a bit pricey, but I don't know the going rate of a power bar. I haven't been at Staples since, you know, 2004, so I have no clue, but you know, this one is cute. Okay, next up we have the HAMNKRASSING. Swedish people just love it. They're trolling us at this point. You guys, like, they're just trolling us. They just live for people like me to have to try to attempt to pronounce the Swedish, because they get it, the jig is up. Like, no one speaks Swedish outside of Sweden, so they're just having fun with us at this point, which I'm here for it. Anyway, this is a cute little pillow cover. I really like this one. You know, well, I mean, this is not my colors, but I do think pink and green go really well together, so I do think this will fit into someone's color scheme. I don't like pink, you guys know that, but I'm also a hypocrite because I do have a pink sweater, but I do appreciate that some people have different tastes in colors than I do, and that's how the world works. So it's a mix of pink and green and blue, which is kind of a little, I don't know, I see a lot of these colors being used, again, in these sort of brightly colored spaces that people have a lot of. It's a cute cushion cover. My recommendation, this one is 100% polyester. I would combine this with a feathered down pillow insert, which IKEA also sells. I generally avoid the really polyester filmed like spring ones where you just, you know what I mean? Like those ones are just, they're cheap, they're gaudy, they never look good. They belong arguably only for outdoor use, but you should use something with a bit more sinkability, which is of course a real term that I made up maybe, and use that one, you know, with a feather down so it's got some give to it. That's where it's at. It's also choppable, although I don't necessarily mean that you have to chop. Some people are anti-chop, some people are pro-chop, it's up to you, but at least you want choppability, springability in your pillow. So cute insert paired with this cute cushion cover and you're in business. Okay, next up is the BRÄNNBOLL. The BRÄNNBOLL. This one is $79.99, which feels a lot for a deflated basketball, but that's just my own personal take. I don't love this one, but again, if you're a small child or you're shopping for a child, I think it's meant for a child. I mean, I sat in it obviously because I have no shame, but I did sit in it and it's not great for adults, like fully grown humans. For reference, I'm 6'1". This is not made for a man who is 6'1", okay? That's quite clear, but it's probably for teens. Now that, you know, when you're really thinking about it, yeah, they like stupid things like beanbag chairs and whatever. This one, the back and seat frame is a synthetic rubber and the rest of it's polyester, big surprise there. It's kind of glossy. It's got this sort of insert thing that comes out for some unknown reason. And yeah, so if you're shopping for a tween, then maybe think about picking this up. If you're a grown adult, I suggest moving on to adult furniture, but that's just me. Okay, next up, something that is actually really cute, which is the SKUGGSTUBB. That's actually a really cute name, the SKUGGSTUBB. I'm a big fan of that one. I love this one. I love this sort of like brown glass that they have. It's like this amber glass, feels very 70s. I like the handle, it's a little bit quirky. This one actually for me, I don't know, do I like glass mugs? I think I may want them in the rotation. Now, as you all know, because I did a video on like things in your kitchen that you need to get rid of, I am a mug person that is ruthless at making sure I only have one mug in my entire collection. I know you could say that's boring. I think it's consistent, but you know, feel free to use your own judgment, I don't care. But I will still say that I'm like, is there a world in which I have a ceramic mug from Fable and I also have an amber glass mug from IKEA? I don't know if I want to live in that world. Do you know what I mean? Like, I like the idea of it, but I just don't know if it's me. So anyway, this one is microwave safe, dishwasher safe, obviously, because I wouldn't recommend anything that isn't. And this one, because I have no time for that, but I think this one's really cute. It's quirky, it's fun. I like the cute little thin handle. This is a cute one. And then they also have a similar one, by the way, called the SKINNFISK. And not as good of a name, actually, this one, that's weird. This one is $4 Canadian, apparently not in the US right now. So look forward to this little doozy. This one is cute. See, again, I don't know. I love that little handle. I just think that, you know, isn't that cute? I don't know. Maybe I like the fantasy of it rather than actually the reality, because again, in reality, I'm a one mug guy, but I could see me having this in my future. Maybe it could be cute for you. Glass also tends to not like retain heat, I find as well. So, you know, we use that if you so choose, which I like because I'm actually not a big like hot tea person. I tend to like to let my tea cool off a little bit. Fun fact about me that you didn't ask for. And so I think this actually maybe could be better for me. I don't know. This one's cute, but I would say that if you're in the market for colored glass, ones with quirky, cute handles, which you didn't know you needed, this one might be a good option. They also have in the same collection here, this water pitcher, which is cute. It's got like a kind of a similar like shape with the whole little ridge that they have going down there. So some of the sort of same sort of design language carried throughout the collection, which is cute. And it's a cute little pitcher that you could use for iced tea, because maybe you're American and you're obsessed with iced tea. Well, last time I went to the States, I was like, what is with you guys and ranch and iced tea? You need to calm down. I think you're like a little bit intense. The like 6 liter jugs, or sorry, 7 gallons. I don't know what 6 liters is in gallons because who knows what a gallon is, but like you got like 7 gallon jugs of iced tea down there, and ranch is out of control. Like it's fine, like ranch is fine, but you're a little bit too crazy with it is all I'm gonna say. Like there's other options, there's other dipping sauce options that are available to you that I think that you should explore. Nothing wrong with ranch, it's just not the only one. Where was I going with this? Oh, right, the pitcher. So put iced tea in there, or ranch dressing, because you probably consume that much ranch dressing, because I've seen some of your TikToks. You know, throw that in there and you're good to go. Or use water like a normal human, but feel free to use your best judgment on that. Okay, next up is the KÄLLARHALS. This one is this postmodern take on this. It's this bubble trend that is still going around because it's quirky, it's weird, it's interesting. People love the brightly colored bubble things. I feel like this is a fad that is just wrapped up in this whole world, right? It's this brightly colored. I'm gonna throw some TikToks on here of some Gen Zs using this style in their home. This is tailor-made for that type of style, right? That new quirky postmodern, really simple, bright, bold colors. I wouldn't say they're like, it's not my style. I don't particularly love it. I can appreciate that it's quirky and cool, and definitely an obvious reaction to like the millennial, mid-century modern obsession that we had, right? With our jewel tone couches and like clean, basic shaped furniture. This is definitely getting creative and bold with color rather than sort of the Kim Kardashian neutral spaces that we have seen in previous years. So that trend continues, and IKEA is stepping up a little bit, and they have done for a good year now with items like this. So, you know, we saw them issue a lot of old collections from the 70s and the 90s and things. Some of that's gonna kind of be in here as well. This is sort of all part of that conversation. This one isn't a reissue, but definitely is in line with that sort of postmodern trend that we're seeing so popular. Okay, and here we are. So I said it was coming back, and here it is. It's the BYAKORRE. BYAKORRE, I don't know, we're gonna, whatever. Okay, this one is, again, we're in the same sort of thing, right? This is an open shelving unit. So if you wanted to style this in a living room or something, and you love this style where you've got kind of this clean white, and then you've got like little details around sort of the brightly colored edging profile, which is kind of interesting there. I think it's cute. Would I put it in my home? No, because I don't love this style, but I know many of you do, which is why this might fit really well. This is a really smart thing for IKEA. They're sort of leveraging the fact that they have really been in the design conversation for decades now. So they realized, hey, we have credibility in this space because we did actually release this back in 1985, which is kind of cool. And then you're like, okay, let's bring it back again. Like sometimes I feel like I'm walking around IKEA, which is, you know, I'm getting old, you guys, when I have like, bear with me as I say what I'm about to say, where I'm literally like, I'm having flashbacks to going to IKEA with my parents, and I'm like 10 years old and it's 1992, you know what I mean? And I'm walking around and I'm like, yep, this is what IKEA looked like back in the early 90s. It was all this type of stuff, and now they're reissuing it and it's cool again. You know, I think it's kind of cool. It definitely taps into a lot of the trends that are happening right now, and this is IKEA leveraging what they're already good at, which is this decades long history of all the sort of things that have come and gone in their collection, reissuing it. Very, very smart. Okay, and in the same vein, we've got the IKEA PS 1995, which is a weird name for IKEA, because why they didn't call it the Huflagen, I don't know, but they didn't. This one is a giant non-functional clock, and you guys know how I feel about giant clocks that don't function. You know I'm against them, but this one here does function, but it's kind of like not really used as a clock. You know, it's cute, I guess, and it's like this cartoonish Alice in Wonderland sort of looking clock thing, and then it also has some hidden storage, which is a hidden storage that nobody asked for, but it's there, so you might as well use it. I don't know what you're putting in there, but maybe you could throw it in like a front hall and like, you know, use that to throw your keys or maybe your gum or whatever, and you kind of want to hide it. That'd be kind of cute. I just thought of that. That might work. But it's hidden storage that nobody asked for. So, you know, feel free to get creative with this one, and it definitely is in line with all the other brightly colored postmodern Gen Z pieces that they've been coming out with for the last year. Okay, next one is the PIGGÅL, which is this really, really cute sort of two-toned cream, forest green, and lightly colored green, light green, kind of contrasting greens, if you will, sort of mug set. I think this is really cute. I think you could pick up a couple of these. These are super cost effective too. What is this, $5.99 US for a 2-pack, $3 a mug? Like, honestly, that's a really good deal. And honestly, it feels fun and quirky and colorful. If you're looking to add a little bit of color and you're in on the whole green trend thing, then this could be really cute. And I like that it's different, right? It's not, they kind of included the fact that there is some contrast there. So they're similar, but obviously different. So, you know, you buy 6 or something and you're gonna have 3 and 3. I think it's really cute that they sort of build that into the collection rather than offering kind of different styles or the same style and you just have the same mug every time. Even though I am a 1 mug man, I can still appreciate the 2 mugs that are in the same design language and obviously very, very similar, just with slightly different colors. I think that's cute. Okay, next up is the, oh God, they do this to me every time. The PAPPERSBJÖRK. The PAPPERSBJÖRK is this cute 4-pack of mugs they have. $15.99 for 4 little cute little glassware thingies. I call them a mug, but they're not. And these are really cute as well. Like so far, none of this stuff is actually hideous. And there's actually some, well, some things were. What did I say? What didn't I like earlier? There was definitely something that I really didn't care for. This is sort of the last of these brightly colored pieces that I'm gonna be featuring today. And probably one of the better ones. I think it's just really simple, basic, sort of colorful little glassware. IKEA's definitely up their glass. I've said it before in a video. I had glass years ago, wine glass from IKEA, and they would shatter as quickly as you looked at them. Like, I don't know what they've been doing, but they've definitely upped their glass game. These are really cute and simple and easy to sort of kind of bring in. It's a simple shape, but obviously they're playing with color in a really fun way. Overall, I think my take on these sort of colorful pieces is they're not my style, but they don't have to be, because that's not what this is about. I mean, clearly you can look around me and be like, does this guy even like a color? Yes, I do like color, just not all the time, and not bright orange like that bubble vase. But like, other people love that, and that totally makes sense for them. I think the biggest miss is the beanbag chair, in my personal opinion. But you know, again, for an 11-year-old, it's fine. Okay, next up is one of my favorite pieces, which is the MODERMOLN, which is $85. It's not a cheap table lamp. This is a really cute task light, I think. If you're gonna have something in your office, it's really big, it's really dramatic. It kind of like, you can move it in different directions, so which is good for a task lamp, because remember, task lamps are there to accomplish, say it with me, a task. And so, you know, you wanna make sure that it's functional for the task that you're using it for. So if this is a desk lamp, you wanna make sure that it kind of moves where you want it to be, as opposed to just a regular table lamp. So you're able to sort of get some focus and get some work done in the evenings. And I think this is really cute. It's this chrome plated lamp. It reminds me sort of some classic shapes of some classic lamps that I mentioned in my timeless lighting video, and I've mentioned in different videos in the past. So this is a little bit of an interesting take on some of those sort of shapes that we've seen before, but I think this one is really beautiful. It's a little bit on the pricey side for IKEA. I mean, 85 bucks US is not, I think, the cheapest lamp that they come out with for sure, but this definitely feels like a quality lamp with great materials, and I like that. I think with this one, I kind of want it. I just don't know if my desk, if it's big enough. I also don't know if it's like consistently clean enough to be able to devote that much real estate to this very large, very dramatic lamp. If there's a knock against it, that's it. It's that you're using this on a desk, and oftentimes desks just aren't gonna, it's a little big, but, and I've seen it in person, it is a little big, but it's a cute lamp. Okay, next up is the HYLLIS. I don't really know how you, well, I don't know how to pronounce any of these, but I particularly don't know this one. This one is $89.97 USD, comes with 3 different pieces put together, so one of sort of each height. I think this is sort of another one of those viral hits that people are sort of having fun with. It's made of galvanized steel, so it's a really, really solid piece. I think the intention originally was probably to put it in something like, you know, outside, maybe a garden shed, something like that. But a lot of people are styling these for indoor use. And I think that's because of, well, it's a very simple, affordable, you know, steel shelving unit, but because it's kind of steel and in that sort of aluminum, you know, chrome, all those sort of silver metals are really, really popular right now. They have been trending for a good couple of years and sort of tied into a lot of that trend that we talked about earlier. So, you know, we saw some of IKEA bring back some of its pieces in my last IKEA video, where you saw the sort of chrome plated pieces, galvanized steel being brought back in with some of these really bright, bold colors. You're seeing that a lot. You even saw it on the shelving unit that we talked about earlier. But I think here, this sort of, I don't know if it's necessarily meant all the time for indoor use, or that's how IKEA sort of saw that, but I mean, obviously they love that you're putting in whatever room you want to, but people are really having fun playing with these together and using them as sort of an indoor shelving unit for artistic styling. I think it's cute. I don't love chrome personally myself. I'm not a big fan of all the metal trends in general, and I just think in the end, choose the metal that makes sense for your design style. And so if this design style is trending, it makes sense that chrome and steel and aluminum and things are all trending with that, the silver metals. This one's cute if you can make it work for your style. If not, then of course give it a pass. But overall, I think it's cute. Okay, next up is the GRÅFJÄLLET. This one is a $60 little cute little end table. I think it's fine. I think it's like one of those pieces from IKEA that you're like, didn't you make like 40 of these in the last few years? You know what I mean? Like, it just kind of looks like every other piece that IKEA has. I think it's, you know, it's fine. If you love it, then obviously it's great. I don't think it's trying to win any design awards. I don't think it's necessarily trying to be the trendy hot TikTok item of the moment. Not everything has to be, but it's a fine little end table. I think it's cute. I wouldn't necessarily pick it up myself, but I would say that I wouldn't make fun of somebody who had it in their home. Do you know what I mean? Behind their back, obviously. I would never do it to their face. That's rude. Okay, next up, we have the KRUSTISTEL. This is a ceramic set that they just brought out that comes in sort of 2 different colorways. You've got the beige and then you've got sort of the gray. They're very, very similar. They're kind of interesting because it's basically half white and then they've put half the different color and they've sort of got the line down the middle, which is interesting in terms of how you can plate and how you can style. Bit different than what you normally see from IKEA. Most of their IKEA 365 collection is just sort of a basic color. You might get it in white, you might get it whatever. But if you want to have some fun, you could use these also as serving plates if you so choose, or you know, you can use them as regular dinnerware as well, which is really, really cute. So I like this. This is a little bit more, we've moved away from the postmodern era here a little bit, and we're going back a little bit more into the neutrals and this sort of a little bit more of the timeless stuff rather than the kind of hot trendy stuff at the moment. But this is cute. I think you could use this as is, but you could also mix and match some of the other IKEA collection, and that would make sense too. Okay, this is the GLAMBERGET, and this is sort of a pine cabinet unit with this interesting sort of like wood detail for the door. So rather than using a cutout or something which IKEA normally does because it's cheaper, they decided to put this pine wood on the outside. And interesting, it's got this sort of like foil finish that sort of has the look of chalkboard paint, but it's not chalkboard paint. Like you can't really use it that way, but it is interesting how they decided just to put the door with this kind of chalkboard paint sort of style and then contrast that with the solid pine and the rest of the unit. I think this is cute. I think a lot of IKEA's pine furniture tends to get painted. You can leave it natural, of course, but you can also choose to paint it as well. I'm not a DIYer. I'm not here to tell you how to paint, okay? That's not my job. That's not what I do. I know what I'm good at. Well, I don't really know what I'm good at, but I would say that I do this and that's good enough, but I also know what I'm not good at, and I'm very not good at that. So, you know, look at all these other little DIYers here on the YouTubes. They're gonna tell you how to paint pine without any issue. I don't know, does one sand it? Does one paint it? Does one just go for it? Do you have to buy special paint? These are great questions that I'm not here to answer for you, but somebody else will. So yes, you can paint this one probably, or you can leave it natural, and that's cool too. So if you like the look of natural wood, pine is very busy. Pine has lots of different knots in it. A lot of people love it. It gives you sort of a classic Scandi look, right? It's very popular in sort of classic kind of Danish design, Swedish design, but you do see a lot of people don't really care for it. It's also a very cost-effective wood, so sometimes it reads as cheap depending. Some people don't like it for that reason. Like if you have like all pine cabinets in your kitchen, for example, some people don't love that look. Some people do. It feels very Danish cottage, if that's sort of kind of your vibe. But you know, so you can leave it plain or you can probably paint it. Okay, next up is the TONSTAD. This has an oak veneer on their desk. So this is a new desk system that they came out with. Kind of got this like rounded, kind of reminds me of like a couple of other collections. The Listerby, I think, comes to mind, where they've started to kind of round out some of the edges on some of those sharp corners that you see in something like the LAC table, which is of course the classic IKEA cheapest table you could possibly ever buy from IKEA. So, you know, rather than those sharp edges, you see them curve and sort of round out some of those edges to sort of play well with the fact that design has shifted towards using a lot of curves over the last several years. So this is a desk which is in an oak veneer, which, as you know, I generally think oak veneer is a good option for IKEA because it gets the price down. You basically got a few different options in terms of how you do wood. You could do solid wood, which of course is going to be probably more expensive depending on the wood species. If you're dealing with oak, it's going to be a little bit pricier, and that's going to be solid wood throughout the whole unit. Then you've got veneer, which is where you've got something like particle board, and then you've got a little thin layer of oak on top in this example. The thing you got to be careful about there is that if it dings, bursts through the veneer, you're going to be able to, you know, you're going to be able to see the particle board underneath, and so you know you got to be careful with longevity there. But it is a real layer of wood, which can be great if you like the look and feel of wood. And then you've got an effect, which is sometimes what IKEA does, and this is usually the cheapest option because it's just a printed on sort of version where you're like, hey, it's oak, but it's not oak. There's no oak there. And so, you know, this one is an oak veneer option. So you're kind of getting that mid price point, which again, for IKEA kind of makes sense for what they normally do. And so, you know, if that works for you, give it a go. It's a mix of some veneer, some solid wood, some, you know, it's IKEA. They're doing a lot of stuff together there, but overall, I would say this is a good kind of mid-priced option. Okay, and then next up, we're heading over to the bathroom. This is the, we're gonna call this one the DVÄRGSYREN. Is a wood veneer, oak veneer sort of mirror unit that you can use in your bathroom. Now, this is got kind of a little, it's kind of similar, reminds me of the Stockholm. The Stockholm mirror has like a sort of a curved out sort of piece at the bottom, which was quite popular. A lot of people love the Stockholm, been around for several years. But this one has sort of a really sort of wide sort of lip that goes around the whole thing, which they have highlighted works for some storage as well, which is cool. I would say to be careful with this one though, because of course this is an open storage solution sitting next to a mirror. So you're probably not gonna be able to get a ton of storage out of it. And you know, IKEA shows you putting some beautiful little like cologne or something like that on there. Well, the reality is you're not gonna put your Sonicare toothbrush with the like dried on toothpaste going down the side. You know what I mean? Like that's probably not for this mirror. You're probably gonna wanna put that somewhere else in a drawer or something a little bit more hidden. This is also where I love medicine cabinets because then you can just hide that. But you know, that's just me. This unit though does kind of add a little bit more function to an existing mirror, which if you're just gonna put in a plain mirror in something like a powder room and you wanted to put something there, like a little cute little candle or something. For styling purposes, I think that's probably the best use case for this mirror, rather than something like a primary where you're probably gonna need more storage with something like a medicine cabinet. But overall, I think this is a really cute one. Okay, next up we have the BÄCKNATE. The BÄCKNATE, oof. This one is, again, I remember I said earlier they're killing the countertop light situation with the cute little lamps. This is a bit of a miss for me, I'm not gonna lie. And the reason is because it's $25 US, which is fine. I'm not mad at the price point, but what I am mad at is that it basically feels like a few loose leaf papers that have been like folded together, rolled together, and then shoved into a toilet paper tube. And that for me is where I sort of draw the line, and I don't really like this one. So it's bigger than you think, by the way. Check out the dimensions on the website before you add this to cart, because when I saw it in person, I did not think it was gonna be this big. Like, it's a large toilet paper roll. Like, it's one of the ones that you find at the mall, like in the public restroom. Do you know what I mean? One of those kind of rolls. This one is serious business. It's huge. I mean, is it cute in regards to, I will say this, doesn't have an exposed light bulb, so it does diffuse some light for you, which is cute. It does funnel some of that light upward, which could be, I'm trying to find some nice ways of saying that I don't really like this one, but if you like it, then yes, it has some functional purpose. It's just not really for me. Okay, next up is the HASSELBUKETT, and which is my favorite, I think, name of the day. I like the name, the HASSELBUKETT. This one is, it comes in two sizes. It's $11.99 USD or $7.99. By the way, I mentioned prices, but IKEA could change all the prices all the time. You know what I mean? So I have no clue. Don't hold me to it. I'm just telling you what I see on the website. This is a stoneware pot with also this sort of pigmented glaze, is what they say in the materials. This is a little bit more of a muted color choice than we saw earlier, and their own kind of take on the bubble trend. So yes, we saw that really bright colored, like yellow and orange one that we talked about earlier. This one, a little bit more muted colors, sage green, probably, you know, maybe a little bit could blend into the garden a little bit better. This one is mostly shown, you could use it for indoor use, but I guess it could also make sense for outdoor use. It comes in a couple of those different options there, a little bit more muted, probably gonna be more likely to fit into most people's palettes unless you love that very specific Gen Z postmodern style, but you wanna participate in the bubble vase trend, but you're just not ready to go whole hog on the bright orange. And this one might be for you if that's the case. Okay, next up is the VIKHAMMER, which is this nightstand, which is a walnut veneer and particle boards. Everything I talked about earlier with the oak veneer still applies here. They have a couple. I think the most interesting one is the one that's walnut on the top and then the red metal base. That's what makes this not completely make me fall asleep, because sometimes I find, like with some of these nightstands, they're just not really lighting my world on fire. But I will say the red and the walnut is actually kind of cool. So the color choice there is interesting. Now, if you want to just get a basic black one, that's fine. But I do think the walnut with the red metal on the bottom is actually kind of the most interesting of the bunch. And I kind of like it for that reason. If you want that little bit of a pop of color, then, you know, it might make sense. Okay, next up is the TJINGA. First of all, this one's $4. It's also smaller than you think. This is just a cute little clock. Is it functional? Yes. Will you actually use it? Probably not, because you have a phone. And it's 2025, and we don't use clocks like this because it's not 1982. So I would say though, that if you like a little retro, cute little adorable little clock to maybe sit somewhere like on your little nightstand, this is pretty cute. You know, for $4, honestly, I think this is really adorable. Isn't he? Isn't he just a little cute, that little clock? Look how adorable he is. So functional, no, which again, you know me, I hate non-functional clocks, but I would still say that this is a cute one and worth a look for $4. Okay, and then one of my favorites of the day, which was such a find. I was just walking around IKEA and I was checking out the little new tabs that they have all over the store. And that is the SMÖRLING, which is $17.99. And this is a couple of solid beach trays that you can use. I feel like this wood is a really good choice for IKEA because unlike pine, which, you know, is very naughty and not for everybody, but and also naughty for everybody. Look at me, I'm such a comedian on the fly like that. You know, pine is a wood that's very specialized. Let's be honest, like not everybody loves it. And things like walnut or oak or whatever in solid wood are probably just not gonna happen at IKEA's price point. But this one gives you sort of that uniform look of what you're maybe possibly looking for in hardwood, but it's gonna be from a wood species that's at a more accessible price point than white oak or, you know, walnut or any of these other sort of pieces, while not being pine. Do you know what I mean? And so this, I think, is really, really cute and works, I think, for a lot of people. You could use it as a tray in lots of different ways. You could style a coffee table. You could put it on a media console. You can put it next to on a bedside table. You could put it on a kitchen table. You can put it for serving. You can serve it to your guests for, you know, whatever, parties and things, because maybe you like having people over and you're, you know, that's what people do. Then, you know, you have lots of different ways that I think you can use this. There's no shortage of opportunities, and I think this is the type of like wood and the type of item that just makes sense for a lot of people. I mean, this is an overall kind of a hit. I really love this one. Okay, and then we have the LOSHULT, which is sort of this cart that you can use. It's like a storage cart, a utility cart, if you will. You could use this in the bathroom, you could use this in the kitchen, you could use this in a hallway, you make it your own. You can put it anywhere you want for all I care. It's cute and it's made of solid pine, which we've talked about pine at length in this video. So possibly paint it, you know, get creative, paint the outside, leave paint on, you know, pine on the inside, like, you know, have your fun and really enjoy this one. Very simple shape, very basic, cost effective because, you know, for a solid wood piece, it's 50 bucks, which, you know, is I think a good price for a hardwood, like an item like that you can kind of have fun with. So again, you're gonna get that rather than going for a veneer or something, which is what you'd expect. And I think it's cute. You can use it, it's a utility cart. Use it all over your plate. Use it in the garage. You just have fun with it and really enjoy. Okay, so that's it for me for today, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this video. I'm gonna link here to the video that I did on all of IKEA's hardwood products. Now, that video was made a little while ago, a few months ago, so a lot of these items that are brand new are not obviously gonna be in that video, but if you are interested in IKEA's solid wood offerings and you wanted kind of a good summary of all of them, go check out that video. I'll link it right here and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks a lot. Bye.